Happy Indigenous Day. Ever since, let me see, we've been celebrating, I think for about maybe 7-8 years at Avondale Indigenous Day. Ever since Angie has come to our school, we have done this. And she has put together and introduced us to so many different ideas around this First Nations Indigenous culture. And we are so happy and thankful for that. Today, again, we celebrate, and I want to, because I'm the librarian, I want to show you the many books. This is just a few, because we're not into the library, at the library right now, but these are just a few stories right now that I brought home. And today I want to share a specific one. And I went up to the shelf, and I closed my eyes, and I went like this with my finger. And I said, okay, what book am I to read this year? And so that it landed on here, which I'm so happy about. And you might have heard this story before, but I'm sure a lot of you haven't. And it's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful Metis story. It's The Giving Tree. It's a charming story that focuses on the boyhood reminiscence of Mushum as he describes finding the great giving tree with his mother and father. Steeped in Métis culture, this vibrantly illustrated children's book, and I have to say, beautifully illustrated. The colors are so vibrant. Like they say, it's a beautiful retelling of a traditional story that they have, and it emphasizes Métis core values and beliefs, including strength, kindness, courage, tolerance, honesty, respect, love, sharing, caring, balance, patience, but most importantly, the connection with the Creator and Mother Earth. All in this little book. So, isn't it funny that I randomly chose this one? So I'm saying that the universe chose this book for us this year. So this book also includes an accompanying narration CD in English of the book, which is really, really nice if you want to hear someone read it besides myself. But before we go on to reading the book, I want to talk about the threefold Métis decision-making model: past, present, future. Our Métis infinity flag represents the sacred law of harmony and balance. And the Métis infinity flag was flown to remind the Métis community about the responsibility to look concurrently at the past, present, and future. The infinity symbol reminds Métis people to find the balance between our First Nations and European heritages. Furthermore, the infinity symbol teaches us how to create harmony and balance in our decisions. For generations, the Métis have used a threefold approach for decision making. And it was understood that one had to consider how things were dealt with in the past, identity all present issues, and think about how those choices would impact future generations. So this story is told in threefold manner, covering 3 generations of Métis lived experience. There's a boy, his father, and a grandpa. In regards to thinking about the future, the traditional teaching is that individuals must consider the impact of their choices upon 7 future generations. So the 7 generations thinking approach creates a great emphasis on making responsible choices in all matters. 7 generations thinking is applied everywhere from individual choices, family decisions, community-based issues, Métis Nation considerations, and how to relate to the rest of creation. Now, the infinity symbol always reminds Métis people to practice all these teachings in all of our daily affairs so that we can maintain balance in our life, which makes us healthy, guys. That doesn't mean that we need to be perfect or anyone is perfect. It just helps us to rethink and get into a mindset of what it takes to be healthy and happy, okay? And what a fine book this is to teach you. So I'm gonna go to another video. I'm gonna record another video of just the story. But I just wanted to let you know about that. And then we were talking about all of these other impactful messages, Métis values. okay? Red River cartwheel teachings. They are all used in this story. So many old-time Métis values are still in existence with the contemporary Métis community. One need not look far to see these traditional beliefs embedded in the root of contemporary Métis families. However, we need to go back and think about these old Métis ways so we can continue to pass on these traditions to the next generation of Métis children. We need to consciously talk to our children about our values so that they will remain at the core of who we are as Métis people. And that we as educators, even though we're not Métis or Indigenous, First Nations, it's all right. We can still teach you through the helping of the knowledge from books, different people in that community, in the Métis community, and other different kinds of communities in the Indigenous First Nations communities. So they talk about on the wheel, if you can see the wheel, they talk about in the middle, the Creator, which is a constant for all of these different values. The Creator. The Métis have always encouraged a daily relationship with the Creator, the expression of gratitude for all of the Creator's fantastic, wondrous gifts was a significant aspect of the Métis way. A loving, generous, kind Creator was the source of inspiration for all of these values on a daily basis in their daily lives. So, honesty, wow, honesty, guys, that's the first one. Honesty. Traditionally, Métis people highly valued honesty. Parents were taught to serve as role models, like teachers, like adults to children, for honest behavior. Other people's boundaries and possessions were always respected. Stealing was rare. It was a rare offense in Métis communities, and if it happened, there were very serious consequences, just like there are at school. If you see something, that doesn't mean that it's yours. You leave it for that person to come back and get it, or you take it somewhere where you know that somebody will be able to find it and somebody can announce it. That's what we do at school, okay? Respect is the second one. Respect was integrated into all areas of life. Respect for the Creator, respect for Mother Earth, and the living world, and oneself was paramount towards living in a good Métis way. So respecting yourself first so that you are then able to know how to respect others. Love, my favorite. An opening, loving heart was highly valued in the traditional Métis way of life, developing unconditional love for number one, yourself. Why yourself first? So that you know how to give love to others. You need to love yourself first. Your family, the community, your school, your neighbors, nation, and for all of creation was important in order to create a healthy Métis community. Serving as role models and teachers, elders taught how to live in a loving way to their grandchildren. And the grandchildren would then know how or who they were and where they came from, so that they would be the elders one day and they would be the older adults teaching the younger ones. It's like a circle, guys, just like this, a circle. Sharing. In the Métis way, sharing your gifts in abundance with others was a vital part of living. Children were taught to give from the heart without reservation, and it was believed that the more you gave from the heart, the more you got back. And the more you received. It was understood that when you gave in a good way, the good came back. Not just one-fold, 2, 3, 4-fold, many back. To reinforce generosity, Métis people were taught to give away even their most treasured possessions. Because what are possessions, guys? When you leave this world, can you take all your possessions with you? No, they're left behind. Stuff is stuff, guys. We don't need a whole lot of stuff in order to be happy and to survive. I think you know that already. Giveaways were a reminder that the material world is only one aspect of the greater vision. So if you have something, you don't use it anymore, why leave it on your shelf? Why leave it there? Maybe you would like a souvenir, or maybe you'd like a memory of it. But if you can give it away to somebody who might be able to use it, and then they give it away, and they give it away, and that's sharing, guys. Caring. Sharing, caring. Rhyming words. In the Métis way, caring for yourself and others was expected. Helping care for others who could not look after themselves was practiced by everybody in the Métis community. So when people got older, it's almost like when you're a baby, you need care, and when you get really, 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 really old and you live long, you need care. You need somebody to help you. And that's what we're talking about. Caring about people. Old, young, sick, all right? Courage. Courage. Métis people were taught to take risks for the betterment of themselves and others. Sometimes you don't want to do something. Sometimes you're afraid. But if you have the courage and the belief that you can do it, you can do it. Even if you fail at it, you do it again. And you try and you feel so much better. Balance. Yeah. Not having too much of something and not nothing else. And one of the sacred laws in the traditional Métis worldview was the great law of harmony and balance. According to this Métis law, an individual must place an offering before they took something. So, if you take something from somewhere, they put something back in its place. Like, we have a little library out here in the front house. And we put free books in there. And when somebody takes a book out to read, they always put a book back for somebody else. And it's replaced and replaced. That box will never be empty, that little library box. Next is Mother Earth. Great levels of reverence and respect for Mother Earth were practiced by the Métis. Honoring the land and all the gifts that she provided was a key aspect of Métis culture and society. Treat Earth as a living motherly entity was taught to children at a young age. Children were encouraged to talk to the earth. I talk to my plants, actually. My kids think I'm crazy, but I do. I talk to them and I say, hey, they're living entities. They are living things. Be kind to your earth. You live here. You take from it. When you take, you need to give, and giving means looking after. Okay? I could go on and on about that, but patience is next. Taking time to enjoy the process of life was common Métis tradition. Learning to look, listen, okay, and learn was highly valued skill. Taking time to think before acting and using prayer before making important decisions or meditation, whatever, was a common aspect of the Métis way, and doing things carefully, mindfully, and with purpose, guys. That's to be encouraged. So Métis carpenters always say, measure twice, not once, right? Strength. It was believed by the Métis that it took a warrior's strength to develop a person's gifts. It was the role of Métis elders to help youth find their own special gifts and higher purpose in life. Sometimes you don't know what you're special at, and someone sees you and they tell you, wow, you're such a good writer. Did you ever think about writing? And other people have other talents, and sometimes you don't recognize your own talents, and somebody will encourage you and push you along. That's strength. Kindness. All acts of kindness were acknowledged. How many times has kindness overruled selfishness? Every time, guys. Kindness wins, okay? Kindness wins. All children were taught to be kind to animals, to strangers. Well, you don't talk to strangers, but you can smile, you can be kind, and to the vulnerable and less fortunate. Last but not least, tolerance. Being non-judgmental of others was highly valued by the Métis community. Learning how to debate and discuss matters with others in good ways was always fun and exciting. Children were encouraged to be critical thinkers, okay, and to question the world around them for the betterment of themselves and the world and their community. Searching out other people's opinions, super duper. Might not be your opinion, but you learn from other people's opinions and points of view. And that was encouraged by the elders, the adults, the teachers. Learning to agree to disagree was an important Métis tradition. If I don't agree with you, that's okay. If you don't agree with me, that's okay. But we need to learn how to disagree about agreeing about disagreeing. If that makes sense. I didn't say that so well. So we have to agree to disagree, to have different opinions about things. Okay, guys, so I do want to also show you a picture of the authors. Beautiful, okay? And Leah Dorian, originally from Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, is a Metis artist. Wait till you see. Wait, guys. Beautiful artwork. She's a curriculum developer, a lecturer, a researcher. She's taught Métis history and Native studies for First Nations University of Canada. And she's got a website. I often like to go to their websites and find out more. And the writer is Norman Fleury, originally from Saint Lazare, Manitoba. Is a gifted storyteller. He speaks Cree, or Ojibwa, Dakota, French, English. Wow, that's rich. And he was an elder for Brandon University. So very, very good. Let us move on then, guys, to the next video where we tell the story.